Welcome back to 1.2 Brain Cells Podcast.
Yay. What's up?
Woo, it's episode 6. Oh my goodness. Yes, welcome back. As you can see, you have your usual 3 fave, Noel, Nati, and Vane. And we brought back a special guest.
I love how you introduce us now.
Well, yeah, because what if someone happens to stumble upon our episodes?
No, I mean,
you're the one. You're the one.
You're introducing us when we could just do it ourselves. Is what I'm saying.
I'm fine with it though.
I would like to say my own name.
I'll introduce
That's fine
you
with
and
me.
me, baby
She does
girl.
a cute little voice.
And let's introduce someone else.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Manny.
That's our boy Manny.
Sound like Elmo.
Huh?
Sound like Elmo. In a good way.
That's a big word from Elmo. La 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 Elmo's world. Da, 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 da. Sorry.
Has it been like 20 minutes?
Why? Oh, because
Carry on.
And so we said that this episode was going to be dedicated to traveling and all our little mischiefs and stories and everything like that. So yeah, let's but do you want to do your little segment, your random thought of the week?
Yeah. Well, not so much.
Well, that's every episode. We do our random thought.
We didn't do it last time.
Yeah, we did.
It's not every episode.
We
Yeah.
didn't do it last. We did.
Yes, I talked about how I was sick. She talked about Shakira, and you talked about.
That's weekly update.
Oh,
That's 2 different segments. You don't even know our own podcast. Crazy. So your random thought of the week.
6 episodes.
No, I'm getting come for this episode. Jesus Christ.
We just started. What? Anyways, so yeah. Someone explained to me yapping. Okay, I know what yapping is, right? I just don't understand why we're using yapping when you use it definition-wise in a negative sense. Like when someone's talking excessively annoyingly is a definition.
Oh, really?
By definition, it's an annoying
I didn't know
excessiveness.
It's you overtalk.
But specifically
No,
that
it's
goes
you
with
overtalk.
annoyingly though. Like if someone's yapping, it's because they're talking a lot about something and it's annoying you.
You literally called me in the car. You be yapping all the time.
But that's what I'm saying. So
that was
no, but
you were
it's
trying to be mean
become-
about it.
No, it's just
No,
like you
that's what I'm
yap all the
saying.
time. You overly talk.
The issue is, that's what I'm saying. By definition, annoying is in it, but everyone freaking uses it as it just means in general excessive talking.
Also, I got feedback from someone else listening to our podcast. They're like, one girl talks all the time over you guys. I'm like, yeah.
Is that me?
No, it's not
That's
you, man.
me. Aw, I'm sorry. It's not on purpose.
We needed that. I should have done that outside of the box.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the. There was actually other notes you had too. We'll come back to that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget.
In the definition, annoying is used, but it's become used just in general excessive talking, which is not the definition, which is why my question, why are we using yapping for when someone just talks a lot about something?
I think it's just you talk overly about anything.
But
No,
if
but-
it's annoying, if it's specifically annoying, that is yapping. The rest is not. But
But I
Is that it's like Urban Dictionary definition?
what?
Yapping, is that like the Urban Dictionary
Which include annoying?
Yeah.
No.
no.
So who's saying it's annoying?
That's the actual
By definition.
That's what I'm saying. Is it like
Webster.
Oh, Webster. I'm thinking it's like
Webster
a slang.
defines yapping as
No,
annoying,
yeah.
excessive
I didn't
talking.
think yapping was like a proper term. I thought it was like a slang
No,
word.
it is. It's an actual word. That's why everyone started throwing it everywhere. And now any excessive talk about anything, whether the person wants to hear it or not, is just yapping. Like you're just running your mouth
So
now.
what part are you tripped up on?
Why is it being used if it's not annoying?
I think it's the same way that
Okay,
a
okay,
lot
okay.
of the times people will probably look up the definition but won't get the full definition and then start using something incorrectly. Happens all the time.
It's like, yo, when people say it's cold as brick, bro, I don't get it.
I don't
Why are we
either.
saying it's cold as brick?
Because it's like as
It's
cold
brick
as
out?
ice or something. That's how someone explained it to me. I don't understand it. I'm like, you're jumping through hoops here,
Cold as brick. I don't get it.
but we use it. I mean, why are you
I
souped? Well, no, because when something's souped out.
Souped?
Never mind. Answer my own
Souped?
question.
What?
Stooped. Why? Stooped.
You know what? It's fair. I had to explain it to you too.
Yeah.
Dude, where are you getting your slang terms from?
Okay, well, my Italian uses souped for something. Like souped? Yeah, I'm souped. I'm excited.
You sure me I'm stooped?
Nope.
She said
That's
soup.
that's another word.
All right, so I did hear it
I'm
right.
saying soup.
So
Yes.
again, where are you getting your slang terms from?
that is what we used in my
Back in my day, that's
yeah,
what
I
we
was trying
used.
not
you're
saying that.
It's because you're old. I forget. They're in their 30s.
Whoa,
Whoa,
we're not. We're
you're
not.
adding
Late
many
teens.
numbers,
Back it
bro.
up.
That one might be.
Did you peep what you just said? Did y'all peep what you just said?
She said,
Late teens.
yeah.
No, my sweet love, we're not in
I
our-
realized after you gave me
Her
such a
brain
face-
hasn't progressed after 18, guys.
Fact. Okay, no, we're in our late 20s, not 30s.
How old are you?
27,
Keep going.
27.
You're closer to 30 than you are 20.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you
that's not
for
in our
estimating.
30s.
You're pushing 30.
But we're not there. You said in our 30s.
Well, you're pushing 30s.
Burly.
It's okay. Guys, this will come up every single time. I love to bother them on their age. They're so bothered by the fact that they're going to be in their 30s
I'm
soon.
not.
that
I'm excited
bothered.
to be 30.
Okay,
because
drop
I'm
in the
tired-
comment section those
Bothered by
who listen.
Noel's excessiveness of it.
Based on their responses, and every time I bring it up, do you think they're bothered by the fact that they're pushing their
That's
30s?
not enough. That's literally like 5 episodes compared to the whole life we've lived.
Based on what you've seen.
And
She
I do
gets
it.
bothered. I know. Yes. I'm just
bothered by Noel's excessiveness of it.
Yeah.
It's so
It's a
easy to bother
4-year,
them.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, age gap, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
34. 34.
Okay, thank you.
When's your birthday again?
When's your birthday?
I asked you first.
Well, no, what year were you born? Or no?
I mean, I know yours is in the 1900s, but
Wow.
it's
What a
just so
way to
easy.
say- You could have just said the 90s,
See
bro.
what I mean?
It's just so
When
easy.
she pulls that and I'm like, oh, you're doing too much. Anyways, back to what we were saying.
Oh, hey, you answered your definition for the yap. Because you say, like, anything in excess is annoying.
So yeah, would you consider that yapping?
No.
No.
No,
Do
that's
you?
not- no,
I'm
no,
going to start
like,
throwing dictionaries at people.
The thing is that
But not
anything
everything.
in-
I mean, I guess
well-
it depends on the person because
Go ahead.
this
Manny.
one goes on rants and it's not
no,
annoying.
but like like
I
you
would
just
say
kept
not
saying, like,
yaps.
excess, but you also kept bringing up bothered. So anything in excess can be annoying.
Can be. That's the thing. I'm not saying you can't use yapping.
What he's
It's
saying
just-
is that
yeah.
technically, by definition, what we're saying is that she be yapping about her age.
That's not yapping though.
See,
You don't.
like
I'm
you
gonna-
definitely
I'm
yap.
gonna
You do
start-
yap,
I'm
but
gonna
I
start
don't use it by the Webster definition that she
That's what
keeps
I'm saying.
I know
Therefore,
I
she
talk about
doesn't
it.
yap because it's not annoying.
So by your definition,
By
of
like
yap?
the Urban Dictionary, like
By
Urban
yeah,
Dictionary.
by
Yeah, I would
your-
say you yap.
Yeah.
yeah, and by Webster's, according to y'all, no.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't think your excessive talking is annoying. I think it's entertaining.
That's what I'm saying. It's not yapping.
Yes, we were.
That's not at all what. Well, no, we started.
We're talking
with
about
this
age.
because we started. Oh,
Let
we
us
went back. to the-
circle back to traveling.
Wait, but I never got my age question answered.
Doesn't matter.
What was your age question?
It don't matter.
What was your age question?
I said, what? I was trying to figure out the age gap. So I said, when's your birthday? And she said, I answer.
My birthday,
Yeah,
July 15th.
you're right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Just
bro,
coming up.
at this point, I'm going to give you your birthday gift and your
And my
Christmas
Christmas
gift.
gift from last year. From last
Wow.
year. Don't forget that. Last
Last
year.
year. At the same time as this year.
Yeah. Every time I see her, she's like, I forgot your gift.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And now, honestly, genuinely, I was supposed to bring it, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll find it though.
I will eventually.
I was elsewhere and I still gave you yours on time.
So now that she told you her age,
No, to be fair, I was going to give it to you before you went on your hibernation trip. And you said, no, I don't want it right now. So
No,
I was
that's
like,
fine.
all
But
right.
I mean, you had like 2 months and to be ready to give it to me for when I came back from hibernation-ish.
Yeah, I forgot.
Still have your birthday gift.
You see, it's not just me.
still owe me. I still have a gift pending. I love that.
Fun though.
Yeah, because it's like, I still gotta give.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay, so July 15th.
And I'm September. Where does that put us at? What's your year?
97, year 2000's 3 years. For you guys, it's closer to 3 years.
Yeah, it is.
For
closer
us,
to-
it's closer to 4 years because I'm in January.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm
After
old.
all that age. Oh, so do you have a random thought of the week?
Which is different from the weekly catch up.
I understand. Yes. Okay. So, I did have one, and that random thought just randomly ran away.
Yeah, me too.
Randomly.
Me too. Me too.
Do you?
We're
Chance,
going to be
Manny?
talking mid-episode. I don't remember it.
No. Okay.
It's okay. I never,
shit.
I never have a random thought.
Because it hurts.
Because to me, I tie every single thought with the previous, even in the most smallest of ways.
No, see, the issue is my outlet for my random thought or whatever is, I'll send this one a text when I'm at work.
I do be texting you guys random thoughts.
You guys
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I feel like I don't have. Again, like I said in my head, they're not random. Something happened and it triggered the thought. So
I'm pretty sure I could scroll through a group chat right now and I could probably find a random thought that I sent you during the week.
Probably. But I mean, that's why we started this, because I'm like, you know what, just save it for the pod. And also because I'd send the group chat
Which is
my
like-
random thoughts. You guys would give me the answers or what your speculations are, and then I wouldn't reply to the chat anymore because, well, there's my
Yeah, this is upsetting because now I don't text them as often. So if we don't see each other for the episode, I just don't speak to you guys.
it's okay.
And then I say,
No,
you
it's
write
really
it
sad. I
down.
enjoy speaking with you guys.
Well, then text us, babe.
But I can't because I gotta save it for the pod.
But you don't
Okay,
remember them
but
after, so it
you
doesn't
Yeah.
claim to save it for the pod way more often than is necessary. It's like every single thing.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to get closer to the mic without hitting myself, and then I hit myself anyway. So you can
That's what happened.
Now
That's
I'm
what
closer.
I
now
thought you
far away.
bit it.
Oh, did I bite it? No, why
That's
would I
what
bite it?
I don't know. That's why I looked at you.
It's like you can hear me right now and sound really close, and then sometimes I'm talking like this, and then sometimes I'm talking like this. So, you never know. Yeah, we're trying to learn to speak into the mics. As you can tell, also we have a different setup going on. I'm scrolling up because I'm trying to find my random thought while I'm buying myself time.
I
I got it.
Don't be so loud.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Hello
Sorry,
right there, a little.
sorry to the people listening. What age do you think you will be getting married at?
At this rate.
Do you not remember the TikTok trend thing?
I
that
believe
was-
The thing where the boing, 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 boing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I got well over 100.
ideally or realistically.
Both. I'll take both.
Okay. Ideally by
I'll
like
say 25.
32.
That was a dream.
31,
Everyone's had a
32. I was like, yeah, I think 31, 32 is ideally.
Okay.
Realistically. Papitos, y'all ain't coming
Pushing
out
40.
trying to.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
Papitos, y'all aren't making your moves, all right? Y'all aren't. And I know y'all aren't there. Oh,
Oh, this is gonna be a great episode.
are out there. Yeah, I don't know. Realistically, I don't know, maybe mid 30s if anything, I don't know. I'm kind of, but
So
I
from 31, 32 to mid.
yeah. if at all. Because like last year or so, I kind of told my parents, I was like, listen, I love y'all and I know y'all want grandkids, but I'm actually really okay with the idea of staying single because I love the life that I have right now. Yeah. So like, if it happens, yeah, I would prefer in my early 30s. Because my thought is like, if I'm going to be with someone, it's going to be to settle down, have kids, do the whole thing. Right.
There goes my phone.
Yeah. So that's that on that. So ideally early to mid 30s. And then if nothing kind of happens after that, I'm going to continue chilling.
Sorry.
How about you, babe?
Lord knows.
How about you, Emmanuel?
I don't know, 35?
Okay, we're both y'all got a wedding to go to, 2 weddings to go to, Manny's and myself's.
Look at Kobe's spot there. Look at Kobe's foot. Do you see it?
The translation.
Yeah.
Necessary.
1,800. Oh no, not cantazo. It was supposed to be 1,800. Yeah. But by Hedwin Cantazo. Ya know the commercial too, right?
Confort de su propio hogar. Inglés sin barreras es el nuevo curso de inglés hecho en Estados Unidos con el acento
Both. Anyway. Anyway, we're past random thought.
Oh no, I never got to answer.
Okay, go. Oh yeah, because you're blowing your nose.
Yeah. I'm 24 now. Ideally, before I was gonna say before I turn 30, but damn, that's kind of close.
6 years from now.
Yeah, it's 6 years. 29 would be a nice age. Start your 30s married. Oh, that sounds so nice, actually. It does, though. Why are you guys looking at me that way?
We're just listening to you.
You're like, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, damn. Yeah. That response right there. You guys didn't see this, but Nat just shook her head and threw her hands up in the air like, well.
I don't remember.
She threw up the one hand, not the both. Oh, they're really feeling it over here, guys.
Anyway.
Now,
Ideally, yeah, 29 would be great.
Tickling you?
It's fucking fighting me. There's an olive tree behind me that keeps hitting me in the head. Ideally, 29. Realistic, probably like in my 30s, probably before early 30s.
So it's about a little after ours, but like,
If I beat either of those times, I'm gonna be so proud of myself.
GG's.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the next thing would be what? Your late 20s, but your late 20s is like right there, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never know. You might meet the love of your life tomorrow in the Appalachian. Yeah.
That'd be
But-
great. Like I said, I'd be happy with wife and kids tomorrow.
But kind of circling all the way back to what the topic of today is with travel stories, right? That we kind of touched upon a few.
Oh my god! You imagine you on a trip and you find the love of your life. That's crazy. Dual citizenship. Here we go.
Yeah. Have you seen any hot people though while we've been on vacation?
That's a dumb question to ask.
I don't know. Sometimes people, I don't know. I've been told people that will be like,
Do you remember when we were sitting in, where was it, Ireland or Scotland?
The pub?
Yeah.
Or you completely just
Blew
stuck
it?
out?
Yeah.
You blew it. No, you blew it.
No, I blew it. I completely blew it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
I was chewing on ice.
bitter tongue. Like
Yeah. Bit my own tongue. Literally.
Oh,
No, not
I
like
do remember.
metaphorically and literally. Because I
Yeah.
was chewing on ice. I wasn't ready. I panicked. It was
No, but
very
it was
bad.
hilarious because again,
Mind you, they
before we sat down for lunch, and then we have one waitress. She takes.
Oh,
over,
we're gonna
she
tell a
takes our
story.
food. Yeah,
Oh.
It's a
Because
travel
it's
story.
hilarious.
Danny, this was when we were in
oh, yes,
Ireland,
it
I think,
is.
right?
Right, so that's our
Great.
one waitress, and then
Great.
halfway through the meal, another waitress comes up, to go straight to Noel. Noel has like this cap on with the women's soccer league team on it, and
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
the-
waitress comes like, "Oh wow, like I like that team." Anyway, starts chatting Noel up, and Noel is showing zero interest.
It's not that I was showing
She
zero
looked so
interest.
annoyed.
It's
She
that
looked
I
annoyed.
was,
She did
I
look
was,
annoyed.
I'm not gonna even lie because I'm like, of all times for this to happen to me, right? Of all times, it has to be one when I'm sitting at a table with a group of my friends that I know are about to hound me on this after this is done.
Yeah.
And secondly, I just like I was so thirsty and our waitress had disappeared and I wanted some damn water and she wasn't coming back. So I decided I'm just gonna eat the ice because I'm thirsty. And so I put the ice cube in my mouth. So now this hot girl's talking to me, and I have an ice in my mouth, and I can't just be like 1 sec and spit the ice out into my cup. What do you think? How do you think I bit my tongue? So now she's talking to me, and I'm just smiling and like trying to nod.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm trying to bite down on
It's
this
so
ice
cheap,
cube.
But it didn't look like that.
Yeah,
it
no.
looked kind of like
Annoyed.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
trying to eat my food. Go away.
yeah, like shut up.
yeah.
yeah,
Really came across like that.
I did
Yeah.
not intentional. I was trying to be nice, but I was also mad at myself. 'Cause I'm like, this situation, this timing is god awful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't get the ice to break in my mouth. And then I get it to break, and then I bite myself, and that's when I got really mad in my head. Yeah,
That was
it was,
hilarious.
it
You
was
went
really
to
good.
that-
Hattie
because-
Galloway girl, bro.
Oh my god, you would have. And also, like, she was talking about all the things you're into.
I know.
She
I,
was
did,
kinda
I
pretty
think
too.
back. I think about that moment a lot.
That could have been the love of your life.
That's
Yeah.
literally happens to me. There's another story that I know Tom is gonna listen to.
You
this.
blew it another time?
I've blown it multiple times.
The fact that you've had this many chances.
I know, right? Working.
That's how you're gonna get to your
Ooh.
30s.
All right, working at my other job. I just heard what you said.
I'll believe what you just said though.
No, it's fine. You can leave it in there. When I was working at ShopRite. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
She doubled down.
Yeah. It happened multiple times, and there was one specific time. It was a really hot girl who came up to me, and I was not at this time. I was not catching up, and I was focused on working. And I was standing in the ketchup aisle, and I remember this because Tom always brings it up when we're working. He's like, "So where's the ketchup?" And I'm like, "F off." We're standing in the. I had seen this girl. She had seen me. You know how you do the gay. You know what the gay eye contact.
When she looks at me, then I look at her.
So it kept happening. I was doing my work stuff, and I kept seeing her through the aisles, and then I was like, oh, whatever, because in my brain, I'm like, she's not gonna be interested. And I'm in the ketchup pile, and she comes up to me finally, just like, I guess, talk to me, and I'm looking for whatever I need to look for. She goes to me, standing in the ketchup pile, bunch of ketchup in front of me, where's the ketchup? I'm like, right there.
No, that's
Walked
not.
away. And then I went and I had to use the bathroom. Well, I didn't have to use the bathroom. I had to go to the back to put something away that had broken. And as I'm putting it away, it clicks in my head.
Oh my god.
What just happened?
Yeah,
and
and
I
she
was
was incredibly dumb or pickup line.
yeah.
I think it was pickup line.
And I realized, I'm like, wait, did I just? Oh.
No, what was that?
Bro,
No.
yeah, literally, like it took, I was back there for a minute. It took a minute. And so then I go back on the floor. I'm like, no, I have to redeem myself. Gone. Never to be seen again. And then I told Tom, he's like, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm like,
You are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've had quite a few stories like that, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I get nervous. I do get nervous. Like,
Oh, I get panic. It's
but
bad.
I don't. I'll just say dumb or not. I won't say anything interesting. That I'm like, because in my head I'm like, all right, say something cool. Because like non-trying me, like I don't know. I guess I'll say something where people are like, oh my god, or you're funny, or like charming, or something like that. And then when there's the person I actually like, basically I should just be like, you like cheese. That's better than what I actually come up with. Like,
one, if I'm caught off guard. Two, if I genuinely like you, then you probably think I hate you. But then if I don't like you, I probably can flirt and just bicker with you all the time. Yeah.
Interesting. Damn. So hopefully
This
when we
family
go
is
on
something
our
else.
Huh?
This family's something else.
Yeah, we're weird.
But you know what? Hopefully we up our skills. That way when we're in like other
This is why we're
countries and
single.
stuff.
Yeah.
Stop. That's why a lot of our
Until
cousins
30.
are single.
You know? That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, don't judge over there. You're single. Yeah. Acknowledge.
Any whoosies. Going back to travel stories, I was gonna say, while we were in, I think it was Ireland. It was that trip, that when we were driving, and then you were trying to take the picture.
My sheep.
Your sheep.
I still have a picture, a beautiful picture to this day.
Send it to me. I'll.
Okay, yeah. We were Ireland, Scotland, right?
Yeah, Ireland, Scotland, whatever. We were driving.
Yeah, it was back to back, and we were driving for most of them too. We were driving, and I see out because I'm sitting window, and I look out, and it's a bunch of sheep. It's so many flocks of sheep, and I'm like, look at them, they're just sleeping or walking or whatever. And so I want to take a picture. Now again, we're driving on the highway or something. I don't know. It's fast.
Country road.
Take me home.
We were on country roads.
We were. That's why there were sheep. And so I tried to take a couple pictures, and I'm just like snapping away. And then I look at my phone of the photos, and it's like the blurriest hill and grass, and you can't see a single sheep.
No.
But if you
No.
if
It was
you zoom the out of it, then you see the sheep. From far away, you can't see anything but the grass. When you really zoom in, you can. And so,
but
were you sitting next to me?
detailed image of the sheep though.
I-
It was like
I-
Who was sitting next to me?
Me, no, you were driving. This is
Oh,
why
yes,
this
I
story
was,
is so
I
funny.
was.
Because when you're done, I'm going to tell my perspective of that drive. Because what I was going to say was, I wish we would vlog some of our, which we're going to start doing. I'm going to get a vlog camera, because sometimes just watching us interact
Word.
is hilarious, bro. It's so funny. We have so many moments. So that drive specifically, are you done with like your part of the story?
No.
All right, go finish your part, and then I'm gonna tell.
And so again, I noticed zoomed in, you can. So from the really zoomed in photo, we said Noel sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
next to you.
I showed. I was like, Noel, I got the picture
was
of the
Max
sheep.
next to me? Had
You
to
were
be.
driving.
He
Your
had
turn.
to be.
Yes.
If
yes.
she was, yeah,
you were
okay.
driving. Mintu was on my right. Yeah.
Okay. And are we done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think Minsu was in that part. That's why I looked at her like
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay. Carry on. Sorry.
So I showed Noelle the picture of my sheep, and I was like, look, I got the sheep. And she's like, oh, yeah, look, there's so many of them. And then I was like, I'm going to show you from a better view. Ready? I zoomed that you can There's no sheep.
It's
Or
really
grass.
funny. It's really funny because then all you just see is grass and there's no sheep in the photo. But you zoom in.
And
Great camera, by the way. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We started cracking up. And then
so
it's the
funny.
same thing to Nati, same thing. All zoomed in. She's like, oh, yeah, look at all those sheep.
Yeah.
It
was
so cool.
hilarious.
And then I was like, wait. Picture gets better. Zoom the
No
fuck
sheep.
out.
No sheep whatsoever.
Not a doll. Not like you think it's like a dandelion.
The last dandelion. All right, so my perspective of this story, right? That drive specifically, we're looking at sheep and we're looking at cows. We're looking at a bunch of stuff.
Horses.
Yeah, and Nat's driving. Nat's a great driver, and she's used to driving big cars. And
I don't like driving little cars or smaller than my car.
Not me neither.
I don't like driving big cars, so it works out.
Maybe that's why we don't drive well. Maybe that's why
we.
I got a story for you too.
Anyway,
So
I know we ain't go.
yeah, no. If I'm gonna
I always
decide,
defend you in this.
if
and
I'm
you
gonna
just wanna
decide
throw
who's
me
the
under
better driver
bus.
between the
First
two
of
of you,
I've never called you a bad driver, but you're calling me a bad driver.
I'm saying we both are.
you both are.
How many? Carry on.
We're fine here.
They
in
both
the
almost
States,
got us
kind
killed
of.
multiple times on our trip while driving. This is why I drive now.
Anyway,
So on this specific drive, we're like, oh my God, right? We're driving. Nat's co-piloting and she's jamming to her music as she should. So me and Vane in the back. Nat loves her salsa, and we like salsa too, but we don't like it to
Did you finish with the sheep story?
This
This
was the
part
sheep
of it.
story.
This is part of it.
Sorry.
we don't like salsa at the degree that Nat likes salsa. So me and V had headphones in, and we were sharing in our pod and listening to music. In that, we're like, we see all the high grass in front of the high grass breaks at the same time that we're crossing an intersection. But these are country roads, so they're not the most well paved roads. So like it goes from being straight, and then the straight road like diverts to the right. So you have to be like paying attention to the road. And so we're driving, and again, we cross a road at the same time that the grass breaks, and we're like, oh my God, cows, sheep. Me and V are going crazy. We're like, oh my God, look at all the sheep. And Nat, who is driving
You
the
ain't gonna
car,
say sheep and you ain't gonna let me look.
goes where and looks out the window instead of
Very
looking
curvy road.
instead of looking at where she's driving. And as we're looking at the sheep, Van, who's poor Van, closest to the door, she's sitting on the window seat.
Oh, I remember this.
Nat drives over the curb, and thank God the curb was there because she would have went into the fence at that point. And we just go poop, and you just hear Nat go, oopsie.
Yeah, I'm the type that I'll hit a speed bump and I'll let go of the wheel.
You did do that.
And she let go of the wheel, and so obviously in the back of the car you feel it more. I hear the oopsies. I prepare for impact. V does not prepare for impact. The next thing you hear after the oopsies is a thunk, which was the thunk of her head hitting the window.
No, it wasn't the window, it was the roof.
The roof. She hit something and it made a thunk.
There was so many good car adventures in that trip.
Sure.
I think my favorite, because I was so frustrated in that moment, was that we were going to go on the hike.
Oh, but
And-
then this led to taking the photos of the sheep. Because Nat at that point was like, oh my God, I gotta focus. But like, take photos of the sheep.
So you look at it later.
Take pictures of the sheep to look at. And then that's how the sheep photo happened.
Yeah, no, and it'd be funny too because in the reverse, Van will be driving and she'll tell me like to take a picture. I do not. If you tell me take a picture, I forget I have hands and whatever. Because normally, like if it were my own thing, I'll be like, boom, done,
Yeah.
get it. No, I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, but it
and
was
then
like we were driving. It was so scenic.
it didn't only happen with you. Like I was driving with my friend Stephanie from dance. We were going to the Poconos, and she was like, oh my God, take a picture, and I was like. And like trying to like, and the thing is that like I'll try to unlock it and I'll lock it and then I'll press the volume button. I don't know what happens. I just don't function well if you
That
tell me.
explains so much because I asked, I'm like, just hold the capture button so you capture a lot, and then I look, it's like 8.
Yeah. And not only that, but it'll also be
Do you
that
remember when she was trying to take it through the front windshield? You saw the mosquitoes? The 10 mosquitoes?
the same thing was in Iceland though. When Mandy and I were driving, like I would try to take a good picture, but one, the wind is crazy outside, so you don't want to do that. So it was just a bunch of like 30 window pics, like. Yeah, but no, I was gonna say one of my favorite stories is we were like we said driving around a lot, and this time Minsu wasn't there. It was in Ireland. And so we were going to go on a hike, and I was using All Trails, which is a hiking app that will tell you like the starting point, and it will take you via GPS how to get there, right? And so with that, we're going, and we we're pulling up to where it's supposed to be, but we're just seeing a bunch of street and homes. And it just wasn't, and it was supposed to be nearby and we didn't see anything. So we, instead of continuing our thing, decided let's go the opposite way. Maybe we did something wrong. So we take around and it's only 4 of us in the car. It's myself, Van is driving, and then Noel and Max are in the back, right? And that had already been somewhat of a like awkward drive because in that drive we almost crashed. And so
multiple times.
Not multiple times. It was you remember the dog? No. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one. What's it called? But anyway, we were driving, and so Max and Noel would like be like, we were already at the point where Van and I were thinking one way and they were thinking the other way. Okay, we were not in agreement
because these two operating a vehicle together is not ideal.
Yeah, and no, but like
fine.
Anyway, so we decide to revert back, and so Max is like, shout out to Max, love you, boo boo. He's like, no, we have to go this way, and then we're going just back and forth.
No, because you had told us to Google search like the park that we were going to,
yeah,
and it had described, hey, like you have to go up a gravel road, and then you'll go up this narrow gravel road, and then you'll have parking,
right? And so, but anyway, we're going back and forth as like, no, it's further down, no, it's further up, because we were literally in the middle of like El Campo. It was like it was farm. That was all that it is.
Yeah, it's just farmland.
So we're getting back, and then we see that there's this little street that has some gravel, and so Max insists it's up that way, guys, and I'm like, I don't think we should go up that way. So then Noel and Max in the back are like, yeah, it's go up that way. It's clearly not this way, and it's not that way. So therefore,
and I'm like, guys, there's just a mailbox here.
Yeah, right. And so I'm like,
and
I'm also seeing, right, we're in this rental, which by the way, it
was a Toyota Yaris, if anybody knows what that is. If not, Google it.
And when, what's it called? When you're in a rental in Europe, they charge you, first of all, your deposit, crazy amount of money. Yeah. The same thing, like it was just too much. So I'm like, we
almost lost our deposit because of somebody.
Oh my God. And so it's all this. And so we decide we're going back and forth. I see how steep it is.
Yeah.
And it's narrow. And I'm like,
and it's nothing but ground.
No. And I'm like, this car is going to get so scratched up. But again, they're insisting, go up that way, go up that way.
Because it said a narrow gravel road.
It didn't look like a traveled path in the slightest.
No. So Van and I are in agreement. And the thing is also, so I was like, you know what? Fine.
Yeah.
She got mad.
Let's go up. Yes, I was very upset. Yeah. And so, because I'm like, it's not that way.
It's not.
I literally down back this way. Because I was like, you know what? Because I remembered when we were going down, we didn't fully go all the way down. We stopped because we were like, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's just go back that way. You never know. Let's just drive until, and then once if we feel like it's too far, then, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. I was like, let's go. She turns to go in. It's barely climbing. Right?
It's climbing. She was climbing.
But barely.
She was climbing.
That shit was like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And not only that, but it's getting more and more narrow.
The higher we go, the more I'm regretting it as well in the backseat. I'm like,
I mean, we did get stuck at one point too.
yeah, we get to the point where it's like it's narrow, 90-degree left turn.
Yeah. And so
on gravel.
And the whole time Van and I are just like, right? Like, you know, we continue driving and then we pull up to what looks like homes. And
you didn't even tell about the part where she got stuck and we get stuck and me and Max just go silent in the back seat.
Yeah, my favorite part. I'm pissed too because I was the one driving it. I was like, oh my God. It's all gravel and this car stops, has no grip. So we get stuck in the gravel.
Yeah, in my brain, I was like, oh, me and Max going to have to get out and push.
It wasn't impeding either. We're all bickering. Then we get stuck. And then I go, guys, we're stuck. And then it's silent.
I knew immediately. I was like, oh, we're going to have to push this car.
And then Van and I are just like so mad in the front, because we're just like, we said like this was gonna happen, pero no escuchan. Like we were, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Luckily, I don't know what she did. I think you put it in like reverse.
You like did a little.
Yeah, I did a shift. Well, it's not a manual, but similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then we climb, and then we turn, and then I just see houses, and it looks like a
Not even
driveway.
houses.
A house. One house.
No, it was a house that had like a little
shack.
shed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, and we pull up, and I'm like, guys, this is not the spot. So she's trying to figure out. We're like, oh, clearly it's not. We should reverse. Then out comes a little Irish boy. Homie must have been like what, 11?
Bro, this part is
11 at most. bro.
me and Max in
he
the
was
background. We're like, we still like refuse to acknowledge we were wrong. We're like, we're probably in the right place. Let's ask them.
We were getting
They doubled down.
Yeah, they did.
So we were like, we're probably in the right place. Let's ask this little guy. This 11-year-old.
Right? Mind you, don't forget, again, this 11-year-old is looking at us like we're rando.
We are randos.
Like slowly creeping on our car.
And the funny thing is, the whole time, little boy had like a grandpa stance. He was just, he was looking at, he barely was gonna be like, get out of my yard. Like that's all we needed.
But Irish.
I'm not gonna try to do the Irish accent.
No, don't try it.
But yeah, no. So he's looking upset, and so they're like, ask, because whatever. So Van rolls her window down.
No, Vane does
No,
not
I don't.
ask.
No,
Bro,
no.
you do not remember these stories
No,
correctly.
I was on the right side, and they were coming from the left where you
Oh
were.
right, because they drive on the right.
Yeah, there you go. And so you were like,
No,
I'm
not even you, Max.
No,
No,
you
because
guys said,
she
and I was like,
said-
hell no, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna ask
Yeah.
this child.
Like
Yeah.
between us, she's like, they better not
I was gonna say,
expect me to
yeah.
talk.
I was gonna say you both were like mad. And we're like, no, we got it. I was like, Max, because he's
Yeah.
closer to Max. Ask him where we're in the right spot. And so the kid rolls up. He's like, what? You in the wrong spot? I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, he was like, no. And I was like,
He's like, you missed it about a mile back. I was like, oh.
where I was saying to go, because
Yeah.
they explained that like you're gonna go down and then you're just gonna continue.
Yeah.
And then we were like, I was like, "Bam." And the whole time I'm laughing, I'm like, this little kid must have thought like, who are these tourists?
Damn American.
These
Yeah.
damn Americans that are up in my grounds, ruining my flowers. My petunias are ruined. Oh man. And so again, we drive back down, and I'm just the way that I wanted to be like, I told you so. And I don't even know where it was. Like, was that the hike that that Max and I'm so sorry, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Max and you went on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
yeah,
we went, we saw one waterfall, me and man, we're like, no, we're not doing the rest of the shit.
Yeah,
Turn
because it
back
was
around.
really steep.
Yeah,
it was
but
really,
I
really steep.
and again, it was very slippery.
And luckily too, like I was able to find in the map from where it started, there was a quick view that was a lot easier rather than doing the whole hike. And again, they got to see that, but then Max and I went back and we did the whole hike and all that. Yeah, no, that one's a doozy. Now, do you want to go into the one where with the dog and that we were
Bro,
again, when I'm driving.
can I please tell the story about the first day when we got there? Because like overall, the experience with the car has been hilarious.
Fine.
Yeah. All right. The first day that we get there, right? The car is under V's name, and we get there. First of all, the experience. We get in. We find the car. It was.
and they drive because this was in Ireland, so they drive on the right side.
Yeah. So they drive on
Yeah.
the opposite side, and so we're getting used to that too. You're in a different country, right? So we don't really know what their street signs are. the mission it took to get out of this parking
Oh
garage
yeah.
was
I also
hilarious,
forgot about this.
right? So we went around the parking garage probably like 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
and me and Max are sitting in the back, and we're
No,
goddamn
Max was up
losing.
front with me.
No,
Oh no, you're right. You were
and
up
you
front with
two
me.
were again.
Move
These
on.
two
Move on.
should not be driving together. But me and
We
Max,
got you guys
We
just fine.
got us to the hike that y'all insisted to go up a gravel, so don't freaking dare.
you had one win over like several
I think
several
this
losses.
one win was the most relevant.
I'm gonna tell the story.
Carry on. So
It took multiple attempts to get out of this parking garage, and me and Max, as they're trying to figure out how to, mind you, we're letting these two co-pilot, because this is the first like 30 seconds that we're in the car. They can't get out of the parking garage, and me and Max are looking at the exit sign, looking at it. We see them drive by it, and by like the 4th time, mind you, I'm used to these two like not having the brain cell at the time, so I know their shenanigans. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just let this play out and just chill them back. Max done like got tired of it. And
Yeah.
I've never heard Max yell before.
Yeah.
Max was like, the exit's right. here. Bro, it was so funny. I know it doesn't sound funny right now, but at the time, hilarious. So finally we get out of this parking garage. Mind you, we're on like a 18 or 17 hour flight to get there. So we are tired and we're adjusting.
No, literally only 7 hours.
I was trying to make this better for her because that's even worse. So 7-hour flight, adjusting to now driving on the right side of the road. And the roads in London are very... Is this London the first place we go?
No, you're
No, we did
thinking
not go to London.
Ireland. Oh, I'm thinking of us.
Yeah.
Ireland is the first place we go, and they have very narrow roads, and we're driving on the right side of the road. The first place we stopped, because our Airbnb wasn't ready, was a park.
Mm-hmm.
And the park was like 15 minutes away. We get to the park, and in the park they have like bike paths, and to separate the bike path from the road is just these plastic bendable bars,
Yeah, they're like
poles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're poles.
barricades.
Yeah, they're poles.
Plastic barricades.
And the whole time while we're driving, me and Max are in the back seat, and we're like, yo, you're really close to the cars, right? Because the roads are really narrow, so you kind of, like, you literally tense up and you cringe because you think you're going to scrape the car,
Yeah.
and you're getting really, really close.
And then the rentals also pull you, like...
Oh, yeah. The rental cars, the European cars, for some reason, have automatic steering, just to make sure that you're in the center of the road.
But it's programmed where you can't turn it off.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
And so we're getting used to the fact that you're going to be really close to the cars when you're driving no matter what. So then we're driving through this park. We see the metal barriers, and I see the car getting closer to them, and I see the car getting closer to them, and I see it getting closer. And I'm in my head thinking, I'm like, damn, we're really close. And then you hear... Van had 15 minutes into driving this car, had scraped up the entire...
Wasn't scraped.
And it wasn't the
Disgust.
entire. It was like the lower half of the back door.
It was the passenger door in the back,
Yeah.
and the passenger fender in the back.
Yeah, but not like... I imagine like the whole...
It was one solid streak across
Yeah.
most of the car.
In the rear passenger, entire passenger side fender.
It was
and door.
ugly though.
It looked so bad.
It looked worse than it was.
And we hit it, and we go, and she goes, I don't think it's too bad.
yeah. My baby's always positive.
Yeah. She's like, I don't think it's that...
Oh, you said that. It was on your side.
No, it was on my side.
The left side, she was left.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, because you're in front, I'm behind you. Okay. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, but I work, I see a lot of crash vehicles. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. I know this is going to be bad when we get out. We get out of the car. I close my door. I look at the car. White streaks across the entire back side. I was like, we're not getting our deposit back. We're so screwed. Oh, that was 15 minutes into having the car with us. 15 minutes. And we're just all... Now we're at the park, right? And we're supposed to go look at the animals and have a good time. Now we're just staring at the car. We're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
We're so fun. And we have this car for another 7 days.
This was the first day of the trip.
Yeah, and we're going to drive on country roads and go do all these other hikes and stuff that were on, like, worse roads than this.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't get through the fucking park.
Mm-hmm.
We do end up figuring out how to fix it, though.
Yeah.
Toothpaste.
Yeah, so I remember seeing TikTok. We love you. I remember seeing on TikTok with fluoride toothpaste and a towel. You can take off scrapes of a car, but again, they can't be scratches, like deep scratches in the paint. But anything that's on top of the paint, you can get off. We worked miracles that day because the day before we dropped off the car, we bought the toothpaste. We took a hotel towel, lathered that in mint toothpaste. That smelled brand new by the time we dropped it off. Smelling minty fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the scrapes off. Like, I would do you have a photo of it?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No evidence of the of the crime.
No, of course not.
If we find one, we'll include it.
Yeah, I'll try.
But yeah, it looked really bad. And with some toothpaste, we took that shit right out.
It looked new. Más nuevo than when we got it.
Yeah, for real. And it smelled better.
Yeah. No,
Minty.
and it's funny because I think in that trip we just had a lot of like car mishaps because one of the times that again she's driving, we're heading somewhere, we're in the country road, and we start to slow down.
Did I tell the dog story?
That's the story I'm telling. Go ahead, tell though. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can continue.
Great. The part that I don't remember is, did you scream first? Because I know someone screamed and then we all screamed.
Yeah, ice cream first because I pictured my Kobe.
So we're driving, and she's going at a normal speed to where we are.
Yeah.
But it was like somewhat in that like farm area, but then there was like a random little 2-3 houses, and that's where we were. And so she's driving, and it's hilly, and then she screams, "A dog!" And so we're like, "Oh my god, we gotta be careful," because there was just a random dog running around. Like this dog had and it wasn't just running around; it was
It was running at the car.
Yeah.
In the middle of the, like at the car.
Yeah.
So then we're like, "Oh my god!" She stops.
I slammed the brake, bro.
Bro, we look at the dog, bro. Kobe.
Sorry.
Bro, the dog now, right, ran at a car in front of us that we can see coming the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Right, and at that point we're like, oh my god, we gotta be careful. This dog then turns around and now starts running straight at us.
Yeah.
And so V sees the dog. Right, there's not a lot of space between this where this is happening. Turns, dog runs at us. V slams on the brake, but at this point we can't see the dog anymore.
We all froze again.
We froze because we're like, V just killed the dog.
And we all screamed, right? And then the funny thing is, we're all like, "Oh my gosh, she killed him!" And then he pops out of nowhere. So she screams. You remember that?
Yeah, he jumped out my window again. I'm like waiting.
But the window's down
Because
too.
again, I know I hit the brakes, but I didn't feel anything hit the car. But again, we don't see him. We don't see him for a while. I was like, I don't think I killed him, but where is he? And then out of nowhere, I'm trying to look for him. He just jumps on my window, and that's when I scream because I had it half down.
And then we continue driving. And
And he chases us.
And it chases us. And not only that, but then we see that the other car is coming, and it also looks like we couldn't really tell if it got hit or not. And we all screamed. It was just a bunch of screaming and heart attacks with this damn dog. It was so funny, but so scary at the same time.
Yeah. And the whole time, I want to zoom away so he doesn't scratch the car more.
More.
I'm like, I'm trying to speed up and hurt him either.
Wait, oh yeah, no. It was that one. That one's bad. And I feel like just overall driving, like part of me, while it is great when you rent a car because you get to see so much more, there's so many crazy stories. Like when we went to what's it called, London. So last October we did like a whole trip where we went to like a bunch of countries. We started in London, then flew into Belgium, and then drove to Switzerland. But we would stop at every country in between for like a night, yeah. And so there was a lot of stories there. We were driving, but initially, so I go to make, we usually do like a Google sheet with all travel details, and in there I had put that I was gonna rent the car, but in between renting all the other places and whatever, I forgot to. So I tell Dom, "Hey, listen, do you mind renting the car?" Because Noel had booked a bunch of other stuff too. So Dom's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem, I got it." Makes the rental, great, perfect. Awesome. I think maybe we're like less than a week out to our trip. And I go, "Hey, can you forward me the rental information?" And whatever. She was like, "Yeah, sure. And no. Mentiras. She had to forward that to me later. I tell her, I'm like, "Hey, don't forget to take your license. Because when you rent a car, even if you have your passport, you need to take wherever you're from's license. That way you can prove to them that you could drive." And she goes, mind you, I'm at work. And she goes, "You mean my regular ID?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's your license. Your license is your regular ID." And she goes, No. I mean like a non-driver's ID." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, but," and I was like, why would you rent a car if you don't have a license?" And she was like, "I thought you could rent a car and let me." And I was like, "Yeah, but like the whole point of renting a car is that you're going to drive the car and you don't have a license." So I'm like, "Oh my God." And so I was like, "You know what? It's fine. Whatever." I call and I'm like, "We can switch it. We can switch whoever is the name on the insurance, on the rental, and it'll be fine." So I call customer service to do all that. "Oh, it's okay, baby.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You okay?"
I'm
Dito.
sorry, but I forgot my headset.
He was napping real good.
Was.
Sorry, but I'm so sorry.
You want to lay down, Kobe Nino? You can lay down.
I'm sorry, Bubba. I'm sorry. You probably hit your head. Go back to sleep, baby.
He's like, "How? You shook my nervous system." What's it called? What?
No,
Oh. All
We're good, Bubba. We're good.
right. We're back. Yeah, no. So where was I? Oh yeah. So I'm like, why would you rent a car without your license and stuff? And she was like, no, it let me. Anyway, so I was like, I'll call customer service. So I call them. I explain to them, hey, sorry, the person that had rented, can we switch the name? Sure, no problem. But she had to send certain confirmation to Dom's email. Great. So I'm telling her the details, and I start to like alphabetically spell my name in the sense of like N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, all that stuff, right? That's how I spell it to her. And she's like, all right, perfect, great, switch the name. Look at the email and if you have any issues, you can call us back. And I was like, all right, bet. Cool. I was so happy. I was like, all right, this is a good solution. I called Dom and I was like, hey, so they sent the email confirmation that they changed it to my name. Can you please check and forward it to me? She was like, yeah, sure, no problem. She goes and we're on the phone, right? I was like, please check right now. And I was like annoyed at her. I was happy we had fixed it, but I was annoyed. And then she starts laughing. And Dom, when she laughs real hard, she gets like her little maniac laugh. And she's laughing so hard. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck are you laughing? We're in this because you didn't think, And so she's like, oh my God, you need to see how they spelled your name. And I was like, what? And she was like, they typed it out as Mathoe. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. So then she sends me the screenshot. I'm going to include it. And I see this and I started laughing. Like it took off everything. Like I started dying. I was like, how the hell? They had spelled it. So my name is Nathalie. They switched my N to an M and they switched my L to an O. Mathoe. What? And again, N as in Nancy, not M as in Mancy, not L as in lion. No. She was like O as in I don't even know what. Like, what the heck? So again, we're cracking up. I call back. I'm speaking to another representative. And I was like, listen, I don't know what happened last time, but your representative spelled my name wrong. And then we were able to get it right. And I was just like, dude, what in the world? Like, it was just chaos. Yeah. And then I think in that same trip, wasn't that when y'all took me to the lake?
Yeah, you said let's go to Lake Zurich, and I put into the Lake Zurich, and we got there.
No. We had an itinerary, right? And so
I didn't look at no itinerary, I'll be honest. She told me put the directions to Lake Zurich. We got to the lake. We saw lake.
No, I remember. So when we have like the itineraries, we'll put a lot of the time the exact directions where we're going, right? So I had planned that we were going to go from this part of Switzerland to lake. When we were coming back, we were going to stop by like what's it called, souvenir shops and whatever. And I put like somewhat of a spot that was like more to where we need to go, but I had titled it Lake Zurich. Great. So at this point, I'm going to drive in Switzerland. I drove better in Switzerland or in our time.
Yeah, as long as you guys are not driving together, you guys do great.
We're each other's kryptonite.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so I had the little Excel sheet with, all the stuff where we were going to go. And I had put that. Great. So I had been driving, I had been driving. And I tell them, hey, guys, do you mind putting in the address for Lake Zurich, right? And so I don't know. I feel because again, most of the time since when Van and I plan trips, we'll do that in meaning like once we're on the trip, if it's like, oh, we're going to a restaurant. What was the restaurant we planned? Y'all have it right there. Like we did all the background planning during the trip. If y'all can just pull it up and everyone, or if someone's phone dies or anything, everyone's going to know what, like in the group, what we're doing.
Those two plan everything. I'm the person that pays and shows up. I bring the vibes.
Yeah. And so in this trip, it was the same thing, but I had been doing the plan. So I'm like, Lake Zurich. So I was like, they're going to look up and then grab and then put. That's not what happened. But anyway, so we're driving and it was like an hour away. And I was like, all right, perfect. As we're getting closer, mind you, driving through Switzerland, if you ever go, drive. It is stunning. Mm-hmm. Absolutely gorgeous. Excuse me. All of the amazing views. And so they, but as we were driving, I'm noticing we are getting closer. Like the time is like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but it's looking very much like suburban, not city. And again, I've never been to this part of, or I had not been to this part of Switzerland, but at least from what I could tell, it was like a bit more of a city life. And again, suburban. When it's like destination here, and we're at the edge, because in Switzerland, a lot of their lakes are huge. And so these lakes will have like a little beach kind of entrance type thing, or like dock like area. Mm-hmm. And so where again you could go fish or just jump in. And so we get into this little parking lot in front of that, and it's like, you're here. And I was like, what did you guys put? And so her and Dom go, you said lake. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but
lake.
Like I put it like Lake Zurich's huge. We needed to go at this specific corner, which was near Zurich, which was the city. And they were like,
she said Lake Zurich. I gave you lake
because the address is in the, again. And I've taken to the point that I'm like, I should have been specific.
She should have. How she said go into the thing and pull out the address, I would have done that. She said put in Lake Zurich. I put in Lake Zurich.
So yeah, and so then Noel goes, you said lake, I give you lake. And so I started laughing. I was like, you know what? It's fine. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. So we took some pictures, and then
we saw ducks.
We did see some ducks. And so from there, I put the address as to where we had to go. It was just like an extra half hour. It was fine. It was just so funny because I was like, I should have been more specific, but also I wish you guys would have looked at the spreadsheet. And then her and Dom were like, you said lake, we give you lake. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. What is going on? Yeah, so you guys were like, you said lake, I give you lake. So many silly stories. So Manny and I drove around too a lot when we were in Iceland, and we just kept seeing pito everywhere. Pito with a U though. Pito. Yeah, no, we have way too many stories. I think we will have to do a travel stories part 2, because we're, believe it or not, already like an hour in.
Yeah, we just hit an hour.
Yeah.
Any last minute thoughts, stories that you come to mind?
No, I think
no.
Do we have any funny Florida stories? I don't think so.
No.
Y'all told the other time when y'all went to Orlando that you were a little drunk.
Mm-hmm. That was some great planning.
Yeah. That.
But nothing like funny. Oh, you cried when you met Pooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I screamed when I saw Mulan.
That's fair. I remember that.
Oh yeah, I also did it again when I saw her again with.
Oh, that's fair. I expected.
Always keep twice.
Yeah. Always. But no, yeah, we'll do another episode with more travel stories, because there's a lot that we didn't get to go around. We have a few times when we went to Iceland, Manny and I, and then
I have a great story
to end with.
Yes.
All right.
It's hilarious. The Costa Rica story.
Which one?
Where my mom called you.
Oh yes, that's a good grand finale. Okay.
All right. So
the title of the story, because it's been told so many times, is Pati called me a when I got to Costa Rica.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
How old were we?
This was like two years ago.
Does not feel like 2 years ago.
Yeah, because it was before we went to Europe.
Oh yeah.
So it was 2023.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
March
2 years ago. 3 years ago. We go to Costa Rica now. I had been to Costa Rica multiple times. It's a different country, so standards are different.
No. Let's first tell before you get into that part, right? Because you're gonna talk about.
Yeah. Okay, so me and Nat land. We land late at night. So you can't see anything. But my parents are like, "Oh, it's so beautiful here! Like rolling hills of green.
Look at all that.
Like look at all the trees and the mountains." And you just look at the windows, pitch black.
Yeah.
But we had come home really late, and we were really hungry, so we had to stop for tacos. And we were stopping in a city called Jaco, which is close to where we're staying. It's like a surfer town. Yeah. And it's city life. There's a lot of people there, a lot of tourists, people working. And
and so we're eating. I'm sorry, I'm gonna
jump in.
Because we're sitting there, and Pat goes to Jean, "Hey, don't forget that you had said you wanted to tell Nat, to warn her." And it's like, what? Yeah. And so Jean goes, yeah, because I go clubbing a lot here with Pat all the time. Always have. Once I
Pat is my mom.
Yes. Once I started being able to go out, she would take me out. Great. So they know how I party. And so they go, yeah, like you can't do what you do over there. You can't do it here because prostitution's illegal is what I heard. And in my head, I'm like, duh, prostitution's illegal. It's illegal everywhere. Right. So when they continue, they're like, yeah, so what you do in the States, you can't do that here. Like you can't. And in my head, I'm like, they're telling me, like, they're basically calling me a because they're like, wait, all the shit you be doing, since prostitution's illegal here, you can't do that. Excuse me? What? Like, y'all go clubbing with me. Y'all know what I do. I don't do that. And so
yeah, they were like, since you like to go talk to people, like you can't.
Yeah,
do that
like
here.
you're really flirty and whatever. You can't do that. I was like, they call me.
They didn't say it like that. They're like, just because you're social and you talk to a lot of people, you can't do that here.
Yeah, and so the whole time in my head, I'm like, they call me a. Like, I was so offended.
We still got down, had dinner, had a great time.
Yeah, like, because, you know, I was like, because I don't think it was at dinner. I think it was either after we left dinner, because it was in the car. I remember we were in the car at that point.
It was before we got there, because it was before we got down.
Okay. And so, anyway, that happens. And so, I'm upset, kind of. Not kind of, I was pretty much upset. And so, I was like, hold on. But if I call and tell my mom, hey, mom, look, this happened. Like, Pate called me a puta. Basically, I'm like, she's gonna get mad and she's gonna be like, get on the next flight. And I was like, I already paid. It's gonna be 5 days. I want to enjoy Costa Rica. I'm gonna be annoyed and upset that they call me a puta, but I'm gonna tell it after, right?
We're gonna have a good time first.
We're gonna have exactly. And so anyway, fast forward, we get to the place. We're gonna stay. Noel and I are sharing a room. Great, beautiful, beautiful mansion. And so. In one of the stories that I mentioned with Maripas and Los Bichos, yeah, that was in that house. And so, anyway, we go to sleep, wake up. The next morning we had to be up early because we were going to go on like this hike type thing. Great. So we're in the car. Not in the car, sorry. We're in the house. Noel's on the bed doing something. And
I get ready quick, so I was scrolling.
So I was finishing up getting ready in the bathroom. And so Noel and I have discussed because... a lot of times families or when there's drama, it's because there's no communication. So Noel and I have always said we're going to communicate and that way we don't have those same issues. Great. So then Noel, I go to Noel. I was like, I'm upset about something and I want to talk to you about it.
I'm like, yeah, cuz, what's up?
Yeah.
Scrolling.
Yeah, because she's like, you know, in her mind, she's like, we're in Costa Rica. What can be wrong, right?
Yeah,
and
I'm like, we just got here.
Yeah, and I'm not, you can ask Noel, I'm not one to cause drama, like on a trip like that. So, right, so she's like, what is this? And I go, you know, I really don't like that your parents call me up.
I'm like, what? When did they do this?
And so I'm like, yeah, yesterday when they're telling me, like, don't do what you do and all that, like they said, you know, prostitution's illegal. And she goes,
legal?
And I was like, yeah, prostitution's illegal.
Prostitution is legal.
Wait, what are you saying and what am I saying? Right? Literally our interaction. And so she explains to me, she's like, yeah, they're explaining to you.
Prostitution here is legal.
Yeah.
Women who approach, or not even approach, women who openly will talk and chat up men is because they're working.
Yes. Yes, and that's what the men are used to. So, like, if a woman just goes up to talk or you're just chatting...
Or even if a man approaches you to just start chatting you up by your drink,
yeah,
it's because they're looking for women working.
Yes. And it... Yeah. And so I was like, oh... I was like, that makes sense.
But it was so funny because I said, prostitution is legal. She's like, what did you say? What did I say? Wait, say it again. I'm like, prostitution is legal here.
And I was like, oh, because again, I heard illegal. But anyway, so we carry on. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes more sense. I come out to the kitchen where Pat's packing us like snacks and water and all that. She's working diligently. And I go up to her and I'm like, we're good. She's like, what? And I'm like, we're good. We're not arguing anymore. We're not in a fight. She was like, we were in a fight.
She
And
looks
so-
at me. She's like, "What is she talking about?" I'm like, "I'll tell you in the car. Get in the car."
Yeah, so
I'm like, "She's stupid."
we started laughing because we were like, oh my God, I was gonna start the next family drama.
It would have been World War III in our house.
Oh my God, yeah, it would have been so bad. We wouldn't talk to each other.
Mom was like, "You were gonna tell your mom I called you a p-."
I'm like, wouldn't you tell your mom if you called?
Dia would have killed me.
Yeah,
We would have never seen you again.
yeah, yeah.
And then we were like, "Wait, you just weren't gonna say anything until the end of the trip."
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not gonna ruin, like, because if I bring it up now, it's gonna be awkward. The trip's no longer gonna be. No, we're gonna go. We're gonna have fun on the trip, and then later I'm be like, so you remember the day when you called me a p-? Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. You know, like, but no, yeah, that was always a funny miscommunication.
It's such a funny story.
Yeah.
And
good thing I clarified because I could easily just let that sit there and fester. Versus me, I was like, nah, let's communicate, and it worked.
yeah.
Beating this generational trauma, boo. But yeah, no.
Communication, guys. Like, imagine if we hadn't communicated that, the family drama that would have ensued.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like we said earlier, we're gonna do another episode where we're gonna talk more of our travel stories. We have so many more. We have when we went to Miami. This was, you weren't there, but this was back when during college, post college.
I had just started high school.
No, baby, it was post college.
I had just started college.
And so yeah, that time we have more from when we were in Portugal and Spain. You guys probably have some when you guys were in Amsterdam. So we have many more. So
And giggles in our stories.
yes, always a lot of giggling. So with that, we're gonna end this episode. So lots of smooches, lots of kisses. Catch us next time.
Catch you in the next episode. We'll
Yes.
have some more stories to tell you, some more opinions and
Yeah.
topics to discuss.
All right. So toodles.
Toodaloo.
Bye.